Hi, my name is Katie Weatherup and I'm a shamanic practitioner, and one of the concepts of shamanism that has resonated most deeply for me is this idea of right relationship. And right relationship with the universe is such that everything flows with ease and grace and elegance, and the right things show up at the right time. Shamanism takes this worldview that everything has life and everything has spirit, the trees, the stars, the rocks, the rivers, the weather. And you can come into relationship with all of those things. And when there's this harmonious engagement, it feels like the universe conspires on your behalf. And it's all of serendipity and coincidence and possibility happening on the side of your good. So right relationship is like the anti-Murphy's Law. So Murphy's Law is everything that can go wrong will go wrong at the worst possible time, which is a terrible guiding philosophy. Right relationship's the opposite end of the spectrum that says if you understand how to be in right relationship to the universe and the world around you and to yourself, then everything will conspire on your behalf. Everything will have ease and grace. And it's something that I've really cultivated over the years and indeed found more and more grace in my life. So I can be kind of type A, I have an idea, my mind has worked it all out. And I've learned to wrangle that part of myself a little bit so that I have some intuitive engagement when I embark on a path. And I cultivate flexibility and I invite possibilities to come in. And what's cool about this is I do a lot less of the heavy lifting. If the universe lines up all the pieces, I'm not struggling or fighting. I'm in a congruent relationship, and I'm really asking for right alignment with all concerned. So when I get the primo parking spot, I'm not taking it away from somebody who really needs it. There's just this harmonious movement through the world that's really beautiful. The other part of right relationship is right relationship to self. This is such a rich concept where we end up not being at war with ourselves. So think of your inner child holding hands with your inner adult, and there being this nuanced balance that allows you to move through the world with all the wonder and joy of the child part, but all the, responsible adulting and taking good care of yourself that comes with being an adult, and that those things dance together in a harmonious way. And then finally, I want to deepen your relationship with the guides that are in charge of the everyday aspects of the human world. So there are a lot of different guides that do a lot of different things, but they're guides that are specifically good to invite in for having everything work out in the really practical, day-to-day, concrete results that we want. So this is about money flowing well and having the right car and having job opportunities open up and getting a good parking space and having the right people show up in your life to collaborate with, and having all of this happen with ease and grace, and having the intuitive like, oh, I should go look on Craigslist for the thing right now, and meeting people who are on your side and want to collaborate with you. There's just an easefulness of inviting the universe to do the heavy lifting of aligning all the different pieces. One of my favorite stories to tell about this is a manifestation story where I was picking up dinner for a guy I was dating at the time, and he called and asked if I could get him a Coke, and I was at Costco and everything was like super crowded, really, really long lines. And I thought about it and I'm like, wow, I just don't see a practical way. And I'm walking back to the car and I'm thinking to myself, wow, I'd really like to get him the soda he wants, but long line, everything else. So a woman pulls into the parking spot next to the one I'm parked in, gets out of her car and says, hey, I have a really weird question. I'm like, okay, I'm good, all kinds of good with weird questions. And she says, do you drink Coke? Because I had a party and I don't drink it, I don't just want to throw it away, but I don't want to have it in the house. And so it was the perfect thing. And if you look at that, like, in terms of solving everything yourself, I would have had to like go fight my way back through the Costco line or find an AM PM to pull over at, or there would have been all this struggle. Whereas this universe of me having this authentic desire to have this thing come into my field, and this woman having this authentic desire to have this thing go out of her field in a graceful way. Statistically speaking, my engineer is like, wow, any moment, 5 minutes, either way, through all our days, we wouldn't have been in the same place. She could have picked any other parking space. I could have picked any other parking space. It's wildly improbable. and yet from an energetic perspective, it was just so gracefully aligned. And those are the kind of things I want to really increase your connection to, the kind of guides that encourage you to pick the parking space that'll put you right place, right time, with a lot of ease and grace. So I love increasing this. I'm excited to increase this in my own life, and I'd love to support you in being in right relationship with the universe, right relationship with yourself, and in stronger relationship to the guides who help the universe to conspire on your behalf for whatever would really, really support you in the everyday world. So thank you so much for listening. My name is Katie Weatherup, and you can learn more about me and my work at my website, which is handsoverheart.com.